power doesn't always fall with a clang of swords or the cry of rebellion. Sometimes it festers. Sometimes it oozes. Sometimes it dies quietly in a darkened room under the skin. Philip II of Spain ruled over the largest empire the world had ever seen. His reach was so vast that the sun never set on his dominion. From the gold-streaked coasts of the Americas to the distant islands of the Pacific. But in the summer of 1598, under the weight of heat, infection, and his collapsing flesh, the most powerful monarch in Christendom became something else. He became prey. Philip was born into greatness, son of Charles V, heir to an empire soaked in gold and guarded by iron. Spain, under his rule, was a machine, brutal, devout, unrelenting. He launched the Armada, burned heretics, and built a legacy in stone and blood. His reign was not one of mercy, it was one of majesty. His name alone was enough to silence rooms. But time, unlike kings, has no fear. And Philip, despite his empire, could not stop what came for him. Gout struck first. The disease twisted him slowly, one finger, one toe at a time. His hands curled like dried roots, his knees locked, his legs dragged behind him like shadows. By 1591, he was already bound to a wheelchair, more statue than sovereign. Then came the arthritis, the fevers, the slow suffocation of function. He ruled from a bed, signing decrees with trembling hands. Power endured, but the body betrayed. By June 1598, Philip was 71. He was old by royal standards and ancient by the world's. But he was not allowed peace, not yet. The fever returned with force, and so did something new. Abscesses. Small red angry boils appeared on his hand and knee at first, but they grew, multiplied, festered. Each one burst like rot under pressure. Fluid soaked the sheets. Physicians lanced them, leeches drained his blood, but nothing slowed the infection. And the heat was unrelenting. Southern Spain sweltered under a summer that baked skin and boiled patience. In that sweat-drenched chamber, the king could no longer move. His servants rolled him, washed him, and prayed over him. And then came the lice. Small, ruthless, unstoppable. They invaded the bed, his clothes, his wounds, feeding on blood, nesting in abscesses, crawling under dressings. Each morning, fresh waves were scraped from his skin. Each night, they returned, fascinated by the shadow history that tries to forget. Subscribe now, and we'll keep opening doors into the dark. Stories like this don't make the textbooks, but they echo louder than any war cry. By late August, the damage could no longer be hidden. Philip's lower back had collapsed into a single open wound. The skin was gone, the fat was eaten through. Even the muscle had surrendered. One sore, the size of a man's fist, opened a portal into his body. And from that wound, Maggots. Servants pulled them out by the dozens. Every morning, every evening. His body no longer belonged to him. It had become a territory colonized by decay. Flies hovered, drawn to the scent of rotting royalty. No perfume could mask it. No prayer could stop it. Still he lived. Still he ruled from that bed of insects and excrement. Witnesses said his screams were muffled only by exhaustion, that he begged for pain to end, but would not die. He had become a king of endurance, not glory, of agony, not empire. September 13. The end drew near. He called for the last rites. The oil, sacred and shining, was placed on skin already falling apart. Flies landed as the priest prayed. The crucifix, kissed desperately, lay across a chest that no longer rose evenly. And in that moment, between ritual and rot, Philip II died. 5 a.m. The world did not shake, the empire did not fall, but a man, once feared by nations, was finally quiet. The king of the earth was conquered by creatures too small to see. Philip's death wasn't just gruesome. It was poetic, symmetrical. He had fought to hold back the tides of Protestantism, rebellion, and independence. He had sent ships into storms and men into fire. But he could not stop time, could not kill bacteria, could not silence the small. His death became a memento mori, a reminder etched in decay. Power is illusion. Flesh tells the truth. His story lingers not because of conquests, but because of contradiction. The man who ruled half the world could not rule his own body. The sun never set on his empire, but it set on him, in darkness, pain, and silence. If this story made you pause, if it clung to you like the heat of that Spanish summer, subscribe. We're not here to glorify kings. We're here to remember what they tried to forget, that even the greatest among us rot. Every week we walk back into history's most haunted halls, and we don't look away.